At the far end of the universe, there is a planet ruled by a being of utter evil. And there is only one man who dares challenge him. They are locked in a battle to the death. A battle that will take them across the heavens.
Stop him!
A battle that will finally be fought.
I want them hunted down and brought to me!
Across the face.
Police! Nobody move!
Of Earth.
I think I'm gonna need some backup.
Can you show us the way?
Of course. No.
Somebody help me!
From a distant galaxy, they have come to Earth. Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, Frank Langella as Skeletor. Only they have the powers to be masters of the universe. Live the adventure.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros Before Shows. I'm Scotty.
I'm Will.
I'm Mark.
I'm Twinkie. Scotty don't know who to point at.
I don't know who to point at. But yeah, well, and before we get started, I wanted to introduce you guys to our new series regulars, Mark and Twinkie, for the show. Yeah. Congrats, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
You're like official now.
Awesome.
Finally
Glad to be
official
here.
or something.
Anyway, this is going to be our first episode of we're going to start doing reviews on movies that we like, we grew up with.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the first one today is
Masters of the Universe.
from 1987.
Yep.
So,
Who wants to start it off?
Oh, let y'all go. Let y'all go first.
you've got the list. You got the
Okay,
cast
so,
list.
we got the list of cast members and everything, but, let's start, of course, with the big guy, Dolph Lundgren,
Yeah.
He-Man. You know,
This is only like his first, one of his early movies.
This one,
yeah,
this
well,
was-
he did before He-Man in '85, he was, on
Rocky?
Rocky.
Yeah.
Yep, he was the big Russian
But he didn't really speak.
fighter. No,
English,
he
yeah.
had a few lines.
This is the first production
Right,
movie that
because
he
he's
did English.
from
He had trouble with
Sweden.
English in the movie.
Yeah.
Because he's originally from Sweden.
Okay.
And the director gave him 3 chances and said, if you don't
Get it
this
right, we're
I'm
gonna
We're gonna
overdub.
dub
Yeah.
W, and you know, by golly, like,
Good journey!
he did it.
They
So
actually
props to him.
considered Arnold
Yeah,
Schwarzenegger
he
for it,
he
too.
worked hard.
Oh,
and
really?
Didn't
So
he
they-
already do Conan?
Yeah.
And that's why that they
That's
didn't.
why they got him.
Yeah.
That's why they got him.
But they were looking for that body, you know,
Yeah.
that
The physique that
physique.
And then
he
Frank,
pulled it off.
Frank Langella was Skeletor.
Oh yeah, that was I didn't know for a long time who played Skeletor, because as
'Cause he wore
as
that
kid
mask.
right, and I didn't know until after I was grown because we didn't have the internet back then. But yeah, and man, he did such an awesome.
He carried that movie.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
they gave him all the
They
dialogue.
did a really good job of making his facial features.
Yeah, and he said in an interview for his research, he went into his kid's bedroom and said, "Okay, kids, tell me about Skeletor," because they were huge He-Man fans of, of the cartoon.
I want to be good. I want to be evil.
So, yeah. Let's see. I've actually have met a few of the cast members.
That's awesome.
I got to meet James Tolkien. He's the detective cop.
Okay, bald guy.
Yeah, I met him in Calgary, Canada.
Man, he is playing in a lot of
Yeah.
Yes.
Back to the
He's
Future.
Back to the
Yep.
Future.
That's the principal.
Problem
Yeah.
Child.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
So,
And then I also got to meet William Stout, who's the production designer on the movie.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he was telling me how he designed a lot of the costumes and original sketches, and then he also designed the Castle Grayskull set that you see in the movie. And he said there were so many layers to it that they were going to use for filming, but they ran out of budget, so they couldn't. And he was so mad that they couldn't finished
Alex.
filming.
Speaking of the budget,
Yeah, the budget was, it took $22 million in 1987 money to make this film, which is, what did we say? We found out it's
56 million. Excuse me.
Yeah, 56 million
still
in
pretty
today's.
low.
That is a low
Wow.
on a film, but they only made 17 million back. So
That was a loss back then of $5 million,
10 million.
which
Yeah.
is like 12.7 now,
Yeah,
something
and
like
it
that.
was a bad loss. The movie did a great opening weekend. It's just nobody wanted to go back and see it. Like it's what it boiled down to, and that in movies, and you know this, that they make their money by people going back and seeing it, going back and seeing it, and
Word of mouth.
word of mouth.
Right.
Yeah.
You need to go see this
I
movie.
mean,
like,
I have seen some movies. I know with you, we saw one or two about 5 or 6 times
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So
I never saw this movie in theaters. I didn't even know
No,
this
nor
movie
did I.
existed until I caught the ending of it, and I said, "Dad, what is this?" He said, "That's Masters of the Universe." I was like, "There's a movie?"
See, and that was
then
my
you
thing.
ended up recording it on TV.
It was,
next time it came
a
on.
lot of people were, bad mouthing. Oh, it wasn't that good. It was our first live action.
yeah, it was.
it was, but they didn't
You know-
really give us what we wanted. All the kids were it wasn't for adults. Like, they made it an adult film, like
Kinda.
a war
yeah,
movie.
I understand. Yeah.
And us kids are like, but that's not what we remember it being
But it-
like.
But I mean, you gotta
It was
think
too
they're
adult
going
like.
for because it's a live action movie.
I get that.
But at the same time, it's still a great film.
And it was
wasn't-
several
yeah.
people's first.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it was
Yeah.
Courtney Cox's one of her first
Big
big
breakout
movies.
roles.
Yeah.
And
Robert Duncan McNeil.
She was
the
great in
guy,
the
he
movie,
went
yeah.
on-
Yeah.
Like, the
different-
acting,
He went on to do Star
I
Trek
had-
Voyager.
I've had no complaints about the acting.
no,
It's just
no.
some of the characters that didn't belong. Some of the characters they could have used. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about Orko.
Courtney got her money when she started doing Friends. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she looked great in The Longest Yard.
You would say that.
I would say that.
But then,
PG.
So what about the toys? Didn't they?
So yeah, they put like Sorod and Blade and a couple of the other Gwildor.
Were the three?
Yeah, in the last run of the He-Man line, but they didn't give us the He-Man. They didn't give us the Skeletor. They didn't give us some of the other characters until
Way later,
2015. They made
for
the
Masters
2-pack.
Universe
Yeah.
Classics line.
Yeah.
So
they what were we talking about earlier?
the some
Billy-
of you're talking about the guy who played Gwildor.
Gwildor, Billy Barty, right? He was supposed to. Originally, they were going to put him in the movie as Orko.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
But they couldn't make him fly.
And what
I
about
mean-
Where's Battle Cat?
Right? Come on,
And
poor
you
little
said
cringer.
the black troopers were technically the Horde
The Horde
troopers.
Troopers, yeah.
And
Where's
they went
Hordak?
to the same shooting school as
He's in the
stormtroopers
sequel.
because they can't hit nothing.
They can hit stuff, they just can't hit.
They are an
people.
insurance agent's nightmare.
They destroyed.
Why is that bulb shot out?
The music store?
Yeah, they
destroyed.
They destroyed the music store.
And never hit anybody.
No. No.
And they're still He-Man and Man-at-Arms are still standing.
Yeah.
And we learned that Tila doesn't eat chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
No.
she does it. Not meat at all.
Yeah.
On,
Right.
especially on their rib bones.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that was ribs.
Yeah.
It was
Well, it's
ribs.
ribs and chicken
Oh,
because it was a
okay.
bucket of chicken, is what it was.
Yeah. Gwildor likes it.
Well,
I loved
oh,
it. Loved it.
yeah.
Even after he ate it, he was like, "So this was living at one point."
But like these are things that you kind of miss as a kid, or just
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the
Good
music
times.
did it.
Oh man, music. Wasn't a lot of special stuff about the music itself. It was orchestra music, and they do. When you have suspenseful moments, you get like strings or you get horns. That the music wasn't that special, but it's what making the music is what made the news.
Yeah.
1987, there was a musician strike in the U.S.
Oh no way.
So the composer Bill Corti, I don't know how you say your name. Unless I hear it, I can't. I'm from Mississippi. And so he has composed and wrote scores for Masters of the Universe, Karate Kid, Rocky. He's did all the Rocky films, all the Karate Kid films. He's done all the Academy Awards. He's done all the Emmys. He's done so much. If there's a TV show that you watch, he has either played an instrument on it or wrote it, composed it, conductor.
Is that why they went over budget?
No. Well, the problem was they had to get Bill being a musician, he not only would compose or conduct, but he would get out there and play an instrument whenever they would do recordings. Because of the musician strike, nothing was recorded in the United States. Everything was recorded in England, and I have the from the Granuk Orchestra of Monaco.
Yeah.
They are the ones who did everything. The problem is that orchestra is a worldwide orchestra, and whenever they get people to come in, they get people to come in from all over the world. Well, they didn't get a single musician from over here, so they had almost every single piece that they recorded, they had problems with. So it took a lot of doing on the recording. There was one mainstream song in it. There was Jimi Hendrix playing whenever they went into the music shop the first time. But man, that was just doing the research. I didn't know that there was a musician strike in '87, which at the time I was 3, so I wouldn't know that. But I mean, that adds a lot more to it of why, they couldn't do locals, so now budget had to go up a little bit more because they had to send everything overseas, and it ain't like today where you just email it, and so.
Go back to the budget issues. Like Mattel put up some money.
They did.
Canon Films, the film company, was
Really?
supposed to. They were supposed to like go in together. Well, I heard one of them didn't go through.
Oh wow.
Or the Canon Films had to put in. Mattel didn't come in, or something happened, and anyway, Canon Films actually went under like very very soon after making the movie.
So the camera company went.
I think so. Yeah.
The Dan Whalen, who basically assembled the score, he said that there was not a single piece of music that did not have a problem. So he had to edit and try to figure out. That's why in the movie a lot of the music sections are short. I did like that they used music in the movie. That was a big part of it. The cosmic key they thought was a Japanese synthesizer.
I don't know what it was, but it was awesome.
The keyboard.
The keyboard, yeah.
Trying to get back to eternity.
And they used music throughout it, and it was an interesting take on, because that's not the cartoon. So, the cartoon has great music, has great theme song, but that just wasn't what we knew as.
Why didn't He-Man come in at the end and be like, "Hey, boys and girls"?
Where was our life
public
lesson?
This is
public
more like,
service announcement.
Well, he did say, "I have the power."
Once.
So I want to hear
At the
more
end,
about
at the
the
end.
actor.
Did you say it twice?
Twice, yeah.
You were telling us about Sorod.
Oh, okay.
Interesting
So,
fun fact.
yes. Pons Mar that did Sauron or Sauron, whatever.
That's the fish guy with like the
snake
breathing.
looking, that guy. And he's a pretty cool character, but one cool thing that I've realized just looking at his pictures, and something popped in my head, and I was doing some research, and he played, and of course he was a stage actor. He did a lot of stage acting, but he did one of the Wheelers in Return to Oz.
That's a creepy movie too.
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, we were like,
Epic
this
movie.
is not the Wizard of Oz, but
Yep. But that they were some weird characters on that. But yeah, he's been in a lot of different stuff and a lot of behind, because he did puppeteering and stuff like that. So he did a lot of behind the scenes kind of stuff. But he did a good job. He really animated him and made him.
yeah, and then Skeletor just did his little.
So y'all were the the Masters of the Universe toy guys. I'm not.
You
I
will
appreciate it.
You will.
I will not be.
Oh,
I have enough collections.
He's gonna get a figure today. He's gonna buy a toy today. I promise you.
You're killing me. So the transport in the movie,
Right.
how accurate was that to the toys?
They made it fly,
Yeah, they made it fly.
No.
Yeah.
but they couldn't make Orko fly.
Movie magic. So, but how accurate was that to the toys?
Well,
And
we
to the,
didn't have a transporter.
didn't have a transporter. Okay.
Not.
That was something
That
made.
was all. Every
I
bit
think
of
all
was-
that was made strictly for the movie.
Yeah.
They gave us
They
Pearl
were-
Harbor, and we wanted.
They were definitely influenced by Star Wars. Come
Oh,
on.
for sure.
Star Wars.
They were
definitely
piggybacking.
influenced by Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because the Horde Troopers did look a lot like the Imperial Gun.
Right.
They did.
They went to the same
They did.
school.
And they went to the same shooters.
Yeah,
They
they
had
did.
to.
They did.
They must have graduated a year or two later.
Just one last thing on music. If you have the record, the 8-track, the cassette of the music, hold on to it. I'm not saying it's worth a lot of money, but I'm saying it is rare. They did release some in 2008, and they only redid and released 3,000 copies worldwide. 3,000 copies. That was all that they did.
Nice.
Out of the billions of people in the world.
Yeah.
Wow. Who knew?
So, not saying it's worth anything. Not saying it's worth a lot of money.
But it could be.
It could be.
To the right
But
person.
it's rare. Rarity, especially in what we do, is sometimes more valuable than
True.
anything else.
Right.
True.
So,
Well, as we're wrapping this up, what you mentioned about your
Yeah.
favorite clips.
So I would like to start doing favorite clips on the end of our every episode. My favorite clip was Gwildor. The key.
The cosmic key. The key! Get the key!
I remember that when you say Masters of the Universe, that is the first thing that hits my
Really?
mind is Gwildor saying.
Okay, well, I've got two clips that are my favorite. Well, first one is the detective when he's taken from Earth now into eternity, and he's like, "What am I in the Twilight Zone or something?"
Somebody tell me what the hell's going on around here! I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone or something.
And then they're shooting at him, and he says, "Hey, nobody takes pot shots on Lubick."
Hey! Nobody takes pot shots at Lubick!
And then he fixes his shotgun and starts.
Game! Let's play!
He's the best shooter out of anybody in the entire movie.
With a shotgun.
Which is why at the end they make him king of Eternia.
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, he's sitting up there right next to the sorcerers.
Nice.
He's king. And he's like, "Why would I want to go back to Earth? Look what I got."
Yeah, right.
Like, you
So
for women
that's-
decide, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
So that's definitely my
couldn't get
favorite
this on Earth.
clip. So, like you,
I want
yeah.
to go to Eternia.
What about you, Mark?
I don't know if I can narrow it down to just any one scene. To me personally, the whole movie was great, but I think they did a really excellent job with Skeletor and a lot of his stuff, and whenever he transformed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Into
Yeah.
the golden.
Yeah.
Going back to my second clip,
So for Mortal
when
Kombat.
you rewatch that movie again, look at Evil Lynn's face when Skeletor is doing that monologue. He's saying, "I have the power," and right before he turns into Gold Skeletor, she is like, that's when you look at her face and she knows. She knows she's like,
Yeah.
I can't control him. Like,
Yeah.
Skeletor's always needed her just a little bit, but that moment she realizes like, oh, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I didn't really catch it as a kid, but I caught it like as an adult and like as an actor, director. I'm like, oh, that's a moment.
Yeah.
Very powerful moment. So that's why a lot of people look at the good guys but you got to give credit to the bad guys, because
Yeah, and it's
without them there is
Right.
no movie.
and the women try to carry the men along.
Yeah.
So,
If I had to pick, you would think I would pick whenever they connected the keyboard up.
Excellent!
Down and back. No.
IV fluid.
Yeah, it was. It's
It was
just.
IV fluid
It was
bag
too
right
much
there.
going on, and me being a musician was a cringe moment. So I'm gonna go whenever he stole the chicken from the date. And
In the car?
In the car. I'm gonna go with that, and then they were eating it, and I'm gonna say that entire scene was
That was the beginning of it.
yeah, that was at the
Comic
beginning.
relief.
That was the comic relief, and that's the stuff that I like. That's the through any movie I look for the comic relief stuff, even if it's like a little bitty part. So
That was a good one.
comedy goes a
Alright.
long way.
Yeah, that's our take on Masters of the Universe 1987 movie. Check it out if you haven't.
It's worth to watch
Yeah.
once.
Yeah.
You can and to watch with friends a second time because then you critique it. So
Yeah, HBO Max has it right now. There's
Yes, they
clips
do.
on YouTube if you don't want to watch all of it.
Yeah, it's
I
broken
mean,
down, what, 9
Yeah.
minutes, 47 seconds.
Yeah. So it's been a while since you watched it. It's time to relive it. So relive the adventure. So they said in the trailer. All right, everyone. That's it for Bros Before Shows. Many more movie reviews coming up.
Until next time.
See you.